So section 4.5, we will try to apply what we just learned, right? Permutation formula, combination formula to solve all kinds of reality questions. So in other words, we will be able to solve all those kind of probability questions, right? So everybody, those are technically, I mean, it's very, very useful, right? It's coming from reality, right? In the beginning, the first time when you try to solve this, might not be that easy. Everybody, so follow me here. If you care about the exam, right? You want to care about those potential homework questions, exam questions. Example number 1. What's the probability of getting 4A out of the 5 cards that are drawn from a regular deck? Everybody? How many cards we have in a regular deck? We already mentioned that, right? We have 52 cards, okay? Now, it is a little bit of a long sentence, right? So what does that mean? That means we want to select the 5 cards out of a regular deck. And what do we want? We want out of those 5 cards, we are able to get a 4A. In terms of the other card, we don't care, right? As long as you have 4A, I'm good. Is that clear? So we want to see what is the probability. Remember, probability is what? Something divided by something, right? Denominator is all possible outcome we have, right? So the question here is, we are drawing 5 cards out of a regular deck. So we are selecting like 5 out of 52, right? Let's ask ourselves, do we care about the order after I got these 5 cards? No, we don't care about the order, right? So in other words, it is a combination, everybody. That's how many possible cases we have. Select 5 out of total 52. How many cases we have? Okay, now that's the denominator. How about the numerator? Numerator, remember, that's number of cases that we are asking. Number of cases that we are asking, we are considering is we want to get 4A out of those 5 cards, right? That's the goal. So how do we get that? Let's do that step by step, right? So first we check, right? We want to get a 4A from a regular deck. How many possible choice we have, right? So 4A from a regular deck, everybody. How many A we have in a regular deck? 4. We only have altogether 4. So it's like you want to select the 4 out of a total 4, like that, right? So that's the case, we got 4A here, right? Now, there's 1 card left we want to select, right? How many choice for this 1 card, right? This 1 card here, we will select this 1 card out of how many cards left, everybody? 48, because altogether, regular deck, 52. Now we select 4 cards. There are, I mean, those ones not A, right? So 48 cards, they are not A. That's how many we have. Follow me? So that's what we have in the numerator, the output. So let's continue, try to simplify the calculation, everybody. So C44, right? What does that mean? That means like we want to select the 4A out of a total 4A. Everybody, how many choice we have? We only have 1 choice. We select all of them, right? So that's C44. Everybody, whenever you see that, C44 is equal to what?
Professor?
Equal to 1. Yeah.
I know this might sound a little redundant, but on the 4C4, the right hand and the left hand, Which one is the quantity of the cards, and which one is the card letter A, aces?
Good question. We always write the subset, right? Is the ones that we want to select here. We want to select one out of the left 47. Here, we want to select the 4A out of a total, how many A? 4A.
Quantity of 4.
Yeah. So this left side here is the total. Same as here. The left side here is the total. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, back to our case we mentioned, right? So C44 equal to 1. Everybody, if I'm asking C40 out of 40, what's the answer? So I want to select the 40 out of the 40 people. How many choice? We only got one choice. What's that? We select all of them, right? So everybody, if I say I want to select the 4 million out of 4 million, how many choice I have? I only have one choice. Select all of them. Because this is the combination. We don't care about order. Okay, follow me? That's the one I want to mention. Now, another case I want to point out is you want to select 1 out of 4. What's the results, everybody? Is you want to select 1 out of 4 should be equal to 4. Is that right? Follow me? Now, if I want to select 1 out of 40, everybody, the answer should be 40. Is that right? I mean, you want to select 1 out of a 40. How many choice you have? 40. You want to select 1 out of 4 million, everybody? How many choice you have?
4 million.
So I hope everybody got that, right? That will help us do the calculation quicker. You see, so next time you see C44, you know this immediately is equal to what? 1. You want to select 1 out of 48, the answer is what? 48. Now the trouble is, if we want to select 5 out of 52, then you have to plug that formula, everybody, that formula to do the calculation. Okay, I'm not going over the detail here. You have to like follow the one I was trying to do that here, try to simplify that. At the end, there will be a number left, right? Like one single number, okay. Let me erase those. So that's our first application, is find out the probability, right? Using the, everybody, is this a combination or is this permutation, right? I mean, you know this already is what C for combination. Why do we using combination? Because we don't care about the order here, right? We don't have that. I don't know the final answer here, everybody. But I mean, you can, we're pretty straightforward, right? To do the cancellation here, you will see what is the result look like. Now, that's the first example. Now, second example, everybody, is a little bit complex, right? Follow me. We know given there are 4 tools out of the total 24 tools, right? We are given like 4 tools, they are dysfunctional, they are bad, out of a total 24. Question, how many of the tools they are good, they are functioning? So should it be 24 minus 4, right? Everybody, you see those implied information here. Pay some attention for that, okay? Now, we know there are 20 good ones, right? Now, we randomly select 4 tools out of those 24, right? So this is the random select 4 tools, okay? Question number 1, what is the probability, right, for us to find out exactly 2 tools, they are the bad. So 2 tools, they are the bad. That's the one we want to find out, right? So How can we do that? Do that step by step. Probability is what? Something divided by something. Everybody, every time, whenever we got this probability question, right? Remind us something divided by something. Denominator is the total possible choice, right? Total possible choice is what? We are randomly select 4 tools out of a total 24. How many choice we have? Do we care about the order? They did not mention that. That means what? They don't care about the order. So it is a what? Combination. So denominator is choosing 4 out of a total 24. That's how many cases we have. Okay. Now numerator. Numerator, we have to do this step by step, right? First, they are asking, right? They want to get 2 tools are bad one, right? So we want to select the 2 bad ones out of the total. How many bad ones total, right? You want to have select 2 bad ones out of the total. There are 4 tools they are bad. Everybody, right? So that's combination C 2 out of 4. Follow me? That's how many cases for you to choose 2 bad ones out of the total 4 bad ones. Okay. Now we haven't finished that yet because what? Because so far you only selected 2, right? Because the question here is we have to select 4. So you have to continue to select 2 more, right? You have to select 2 more. So we want to select those 2 more out of, everybody pay attention here. The other 2, we want to select from what? From the good one, because they mention exactly 2 tools are bad. In other words, the other 2 tools we are selecting should be good one, right? So we are C2, we want to select those 2 tools out of a total 20 good ones. Follow me. That's the formula, the answer we are getting. Any questions? Is that clear? So what we are trying to do here is step by step, right? Be careful here, like the numerator. We are trying to break that into 2 steps, right? First step, we want to select 2 tools. We want them to be bad. How many choice we have? We want to select 2 out of a total 4. And what are those 4? These are the bad one. And after we select those 2 tools, there are still 2 tools left, right? Because altogether we want to get a 4. And when we selected those 2 tools, we want to select those 2 tools coming from the 20 good ones, everybody. That's the tricky part, okay? Now let me continue.
Yes, sir?
Yeah.
So that formula where there's a red circle for the 20, so when we multiply, do we do left hand with left hand, right hand with right hand? How exactly are we multiplying it?
How exactly when we multiply, right? So let's go back here, right? How exactly we are multiplying. We do have to calculate each one first.
Okay.
Is that right? So we calculate each one first.
Oh, okay.
Right now, because we know the answer right away. If you want to select 1 out of 48, the answer is what? 48, right? But if you have, say, for example, select 2 out of 48, then you have to plug the formula like that to do the calculation, okay?
Okay, so it's simplified and then it's multiplied, okay.
Yeah, you have to solve for each case first and then multiply them. Now, question number 2. So we want to get all these 4 tools that we are selecting, they are bad, right? All of them, they are bad. That's the question, right? We want to get that. So probability is what? Something divided by something. Denominator, everything. All the possible case, same. We want to select a 4 out of 24, right? There's no difference for that. The difference is coming from the numerator. Now, we want to select those 4 tools, right? And the question is asking, we want to get those all towards they are bad. That means what? That means we want to select those 4 out of a total 4. Do we have to continue to multiply, everybody? No, we don't have to continue to multiply like the previous case here. Why we don't need to continue? Because we already have 4, we already selected 4. You see, it's not like here. Here, we do that step by step. The first, you select the 2, right? Because altogether, we want to select 4. So we have to continue to select the other 2. So it's 2, 2, you got 4. Here, we already got 4. We don't have to continue. Okay? Let me see. Let me use the eraser here. Okay. So that's question number 2. Question number 3. Let me, all right. How do I, all right. Question number 3. We are asking what's the probability for those 4 tools we are selecting, none of them, they are bad. So in other words, for those 4 tools that we are selecting, all of them, they are good, right? So in that case, when you see the denominator is the same, the difference is coming from the numerator. Now when we want to select those 4 ones, right? We want to select those 4 ones, they are all coming from a good one. So how many good ones we have? We have 20. Do we have to continue? No, that's good enough because we already have 4. It's like that here, we don't have to continue. Follow me? Right, so that's the answer. You can simplify that. Now, last question here, we are trying to find out of those 4 tools, right? You selected at least one of them is bad. Remember, we mentioned that last class, right? When we have this at least questions, right? Whenever we see these keywords here, at least, so that means what? That means we should think about the opposite event, everybody. The opposite statement. So that means think about what's the opposite statement to this sentence here, right? So at least one tool is bad. What's the opposite statement? That means 0 tool is bad. None of the tool is bad. Follow me? So the opposite is what? The opposite is all of them, they are good. None of them is bad. Everybody, is that the opposite of this way here? Question number 3, you see? So in other words, question number 4 and question number 3, they happen to be opposite to each other. You see that? Right? So when you say at least one of them is bad, the opposite statement, or we say complementary event, right, is what? Is none of them is bad. So in other words, when we try to calculate this probability here, what do? We use 1 minus whatever we have from the question number 3. Is that easy? So that's the way to do the tricky part is try to understand, right? Understand what we are asking, which information is given. Everybody, in the beginning, it's not that easy, right? It's not that easy, especially the first time when you learn this, we have to apply the numerator, apply the denominator. Especially for the numerator, usually we have to break that into 2 steps, or sometimes 3 steps, right? Doing that step by step. Example number 3 here is outdated. So let's skip that. Okay, let's skip that. Let's not worry about that. Now, example number 4. 2 consumers, they are trying to buy magazine. Okay, out of a total 6 TV magazine and 8 news magazine. Right, so those are the information we are given. We have a total of 6 TV magazine, 8 news magazine. and 2 consumer try to buy those magazine, right? So I mean, 1 consumer buy 1, right? Now, find out the probability of both types of magazine are purchased, right? So that means like 1 consumer buy each. You can understand that way. Is it right? Because they're both magazine got purchased, right? So that's, I mean, after we try to analyze the question, we know what it is asking, right? So in other words, both types of magazine got purchased. In other words, 1 consumer buy each one, right? So first, the consumer buy 1 out of a 6 TV magazine. How many choice they have is a C, 1 out of a 6, right? The other consumer try to buy 1 out of 8. That's how many, right? The tricky part is the denominator, everybody. Denominator, we consider 2 consumer, right? So we want to, essentially, we want to select out of those 6 plus 8 magazine, which is 14 magazines, right? We are trying to select 2 of them. How many choice we have? We want to select 2 out of 14. That's the total possible choice we have, right? In the numerator, we are asking what's the probability like each of them got purchased. Then you have this select 1 out of 6 and 1 out of 8.